Greetings, Eric Bakker, naturopath from New Zealand. I'm going to read you a little bit of material out of my book that I've written about immune boosting, on different ways you can boost your immune system up and make it more powerful. So, your 12-step stress relief and immune boosting plan. So I'll just read a little bit and then I'll give you some, extra advice alongside that. So, find the stress leaks in your life and plug them up. The first thing to do is to admit that stress certainly plays a role in your life. It occurs in everyone's life. I'm amazed how many people won't even admit they have stress in their lives, any kind of stress. Ask yourself why and how you're letting stress get to you and what you can do to mitigate the responses. Examine any tension or hot spots in your body regularly, like the sides of your neck or your jaw, your shoulders, your lower back. So many people keep tension in their body. They get a little bit tense, emotionally tense in certain situations, like speaking with certain people or performing certain actions. So these tense spots end up becoming quite tight and sore, and they become what we call trigger points, very painful points that can hurt for a long, long time. And with massage, you'll certainly feel these points. You can get knots in different parts of the body as well. It's not uncommon to have a knot from sitting there with a mouse all day or working on a computer, to have a knot up here in the shoulder, for example. It can be very sore. So think about those sort of things. Number 2, reduce stress in your life right now. One of the most important points you'll learn if you study psychology is that there are 3 things that you can do when you have a difficult or stressful situation. Number 1 is you can change the situation. Number 2, you can change yourself to fit the situation or adapt to it. And number 3, you can walk away or leave the situation. All right? Remember that stress is additive and cumulative. Removing or neutralizing your largest source of stress can make a very significant difference to your overall health and well-being. Most of the time, if you take care of the big stresses, the smaller ones will take care of themselves. Your body has a natural ability to handle stress and remain healthy. It is only when the stresses are overwhelming in quantity, duration, or intensity that the systems like your immune system will start to break down. So, I've said in other videos before that the biggest stresses in our lives are humans. Are people that we associate with closely, the people that we love and care about, or the people that we work with. Think right now, who in your life is stressing you out a lot? Is someone stressing you out? Deal with it. Deal with that person. Try and work out what it is, because it could be causing you a lot more grief than anything. Number 3, minimize any unnecessary stress in your life right now. What is one of the biggest things causing you stress right now? Maybe you're a worrier. Do you panic over your weight, your job, or your health, or the health of your family or friends? Try concentrating on resolving the problem rather than focusing on it, by completing the small action steps a few times each day until you've resolved the issue. This will give you a sense of empowerment and lead you on to the resolution of bigger stresses in your life. It is easy for you to concentrate for shorter rather than longer periods of time initially, and with experience you'll be much more able to tackle the biggest stresses in your life. So they say if you want to eat an elephant, you take one small bite every day, and after a year you've eaten the whole elephant. So if you've got a problem, try and tackle it in small steps and break that big problem down to small problems. Break the small problem down to tiny little things that you can fix up. And the thing also is, don't procrastinate, is do what you need to do now. Small problems solved now will prevent bigger problems happening in the future, which is going to give you way more anxiety than you've got today. Right? Number 4, reverse negative stress by walking each day. One of the best stress-busting exercises is to simply go for a 10-minute, 15-minute walk every day. Walking would have to be one of the easiest and cheapest ways to reduce the impact of any stress in your life. Did you know that just by walking for 20 minutes a day, 3 times a week, you can lower your cholesterol levels by 15 to 20%? Isn't it amazing? Walking has a particularly favorable effect on balancing many of your body's hormones, especially your stress hormones like adrenaline and cortisol, and is proven to be a great stress disruptor, which helps you to think about other things apart from what your mind generally focuses on. So why don't you try it, because you might be surprised how uplifting a walk can be. And with experience you can go for a brisk walk, and you can walk in different areas. It can really change your life by going on a regular walking program. Number 5, look at your diet. Each and every day, look at what you put into your mouth. Did you know that foods could have an effect on the way your body will react to a stressful event in your life? Your body can react to a diet high in sugars and refined foods like white flour, white sugar, soda drinks and processed foods, for example. The same way it will react when you worry about your mortgage payments, your waistline or your job security. So food can have a major effect on your body in terms of inducing inflammation, reducing immune function, killing beneficial bacteria, putting toxic residues in your body. So it's very important for you to eat good foods on a very regular basis, because otherwise if you eat a bad diet with shocking foods, that's also a big nutritional stress on your body. Right? Number 6, the art of relaxation. Are you getting enough relaxation? It is important to balance work and play. Make sure you take time out to relax every day and ensure you get lots of sleep. Since studying stress and adrenal fatigue, I now recommend that all my patients have a little restful period for about 15 to 20 minutes in the afternoon, so they can, powerfully build up their adrenal response. Can't manage every day? Excuse me. Then start by doing this on the weekends and at least one day during the week. Some folks manage this really well in their offices, others in their cars. If you improvise, you'll find a way to have this afternoon chill-out session, which can be a great aid in boosting your ability to withstand stress to a much higher degree. So resting in the afternoon, taking it easy, will allow also a deeper sleep cycle at night. Number 7, reducing stress and anxiety through self-observation. You may be surprised to know just how quickly you run to the phone, eat your meal, take a shower, drive your car, buy your groceries, or engage in any one of 100 other activities. Are you the person who runs to the phone when the phone rings? Do you run to the door when the doorbell rings? Are you panicking when you go shopping? These are all little things that we subconsciously do to ourselves to stress ourselves out. Have you ever given yourself permission to slow down a little bit? Too many patients I see lead hurried and worried lives and have become obsessed at completing one task before launching into several others without even coming up for fresh air. Pretend you're watching over your own shoulder and see how you next respond to any demand placed on you. This may come as a complete surprise to you. Relax when you walk to the phone, eat more slowly, and chew each mouthful many more times than you normally would. Allow plenty of time to get to those meetings and arrive 5 minutes early and not 10 minutes late, apologizing to everybody when you get there. By all means have a task list, but prioritize your tasks and be sure to place relaxation sessions, spending time with loved ones and walking as priorities on that list. Does it make sense? Number 8, look at increasing the parasympathetic dominators in your life. Now let me explain. In another section of my book, I explain a lot more about what the nervous system's regulation of the body is, but it sounds more complicated than it is, but I'm certain that I can explain this concept to you quite easily. If you can grasp the message here and balance your autonomic nervous system, your sympathetic or stressed out and parasympathetic or chilled out nervous system, then you will be light years ahead of other people who think they can beat any kind of problem in their body with diet and supplements alone. This information is priceless for you. If you can really understand how to idle your system and let it relax as well as power it up, you're going to be in a very good position to balance work and play. You're going to be in a great position to help boost your immune system up and to improve your endocrine or hormonal response. This will give you a lot more energy, more brain power, better mood control. You're just going to feel awesome when you understand that concept. It's a bit like you don't sit there with your car at the traffic lights and have your foot half down on the throttle, with the handbrake on, okay, ready, raring to go. But that's how some people are in their life all the time. They never have downtime. They never relax themselves enough. They never idle their engine. They're always sitting there ready to take off. And you can see why the body gets stressed out. Number 9, do you have adrenal fatigue? Have you completed the self-help questionnaire? Because I put some questionnaires online on adrenal fatigue, on how to assess if you've got adrenal fatigue or not. So by rebuilding your tired and worn out adrenal glands, you'll be in a much better position to help beat many different acute or chronic conditions that you've got. I've written many articles on adrenal fatigue. You can have a look at ericbakker.com and you can read more on the articles I've written. But suffice to say, with a poor functioning pituitary and adrenal response, you're going to be a person who's going to either have acute infectious disease, a lot of hypersensitivities or allergies. You're going to have problems with your digestion, with your sleep. Many different issues will happen if you haven't got a balanced stress response. Maybe you're constantly relapsing, getting well and then sick again. All too often, practitioners will treat just, your problems with supplements and diet again. And this, in my experience, happens often, but they often overlook the fact that people have suffered from stressful events in their lives or don't learn to relax enough. So it's very important that you understand the concept of increasing this parasympathetic dominator, learning downtime, learning to relax, and to restore your body again. All right? Number 10, learn the links. I would like to mention how important it is to remember the link between, your chronic condition, your immune system, and more particularly how stress and poor adrenal function can dramatically hinder your full recovery. Knowledge only becomes power when it's applied knowledge. So applying your understanding of your level of adrenal health right now and how it relates to your health problems. Get treatment if appropriate and be amazed at the power of your immune system. Number 11. You still with me on this? We're talking about the 12 ways you can boost immune function in your life. 11. Boosting glandular function. Don't forget that you may need to boost your glandular function, but be sure to get expert advice before you proceed down this path. If you can recognize adrenal fatigue or thyroid malfunction, and in addition to the conditions that you've got, I would not recommend home treatments when it comes to glandular therapy unless you're a qualified doctor, but rather seek out the experience of a natural health professional, preferably, who has worked with glandular medicines. You're bound to get the best possible treatment and result in the long run if you do that. Number 12, the last point, learn the art of relaxation. Relax and slow down each day until it becomes an ingrained habit. Stressful and anxious people are much more prone to immune system problems, and they easily fall victim to a whole lot of different conditions. So I hope you've learned a little bit from this video really on different ways to boost immune function up. Boosting immune function doesn't mean taking antibiotics. It doesn't mean taking all these different drugs, that help to kill bacteria. You don't need to kill things to get good health. You need to balance things. You need to boost your body's own natural innate ability to do this. It's all common sense. But as I keep telling people in my videos, common sense isn't very common today. All right? We live in this crazy technological age. We're always looking for magic this and magic that, something to make us feel better. But the funny thing is, all of these systems are built into our body to allow us to feel like that without any other, action on your part, apart from understanding how the body really works. And that's what my videos are aimed for, to teach you these sorts of concepts, to enable you to really improve your health. So I hope you gained some good information from my video today. Thanks for tuning in.